Welcome back to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. This is Walter Murillo, and we've been traveling through these 52 weeks for the last 21 weeks. Wealth Principle 21 is create a definiteness of your purpose. Now, definiteness and purpose can seem like very powerful words. Hands to the camera if you know what they both mean. Definiteness and purpose. Hands to the camera if you believe you know what they are. Let's have a conversation around it first. Before we do, everybody who is new to the 52 Weeks to Wealth, let me explain how this works. We double our income and we double our net worth. This is the challenge you take when you start this call with us. Every single week, we move through one more wealth principle. These are not just baby principles. These are not small, insignificant principles. What these are millionaire wealth principles, because we're on a mission to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. Hands to the camera if you've been with us for more than one season. More than one season. Excellent. More than 2 seasons. Excellent. Let's give everybody a round of applause if you're in season 3 with us. This is our 3rd year doing this, and this is week 21. Create a definiteness of your purpose. Now, purpose is a powerful tool. Without purpose, we don't wake up in the morning. Has anybody ever had one of those days where you felt, I just don't know how to get out of bed. I just don't want to get up. It doesn't make any sense today. Fuck it, I'm staying here. Anybody? Hands to the camera if you've had one of those days. Yeah, 2 hands if you've had those days a few times. Anybody who's been alive past childhood has had those days, right? Now, when we were kids, we didn't really write down affirmations. We didn't do this, jump on a 52 Weeks to Wealth call every week to stay motivated. We didn't have to remind ourselves what we wanted. When we were kids, we just woke up. Insane energy. Who has kids right now? Who has had kids before or knows what kids look like? I've seen one in the past at some point in their lives. Excellent. All right, everybody on the call. So why is it the kids wake up every day with a fireball of energy? Is it just because they're genetically brand new, or is it because their mindset is wired towards energy? Has anybody had a really, really powerful day where you just felt like on fire, like everything you did was so powerful, like you just couldn't be stopped? Hands to the camera if that's been true for you. You've had one of those days. It doesn't have to be today. But hands to the camera, if in the past you've had one of those days. Remember what it was like? Awesome. Excellent. Energy. We've talked about a lot of different wealth principles. Talk about, thinking a million, how to build $1 million business, the marketing strategies behind millionaires, how to build the right emphasis for yourself, how to make yourself the greatest in your market, how to establish yourself as the authority in your market, the world-class expert. We've talked about how to bring yourself into a state of clarity and power. And this week, and we talked about the 80-20 principle. Hands to the camera if you remember the 80-20. That had a powerful impact in your life that week. Excellent. Cut out some people, right? Cut out some activities. So the definiteness of purpose principle is where you get the energy, like the juice, like the motivation to do things. Now, we talked about a child for a reason. Children are a perfect example of somebody who is on fire at all times. They are highly, highly motivated to do. Drop in the chat what you think children are highly motivated to do. Let's fill up the chat right now with the thing you believe children are highly motivated to do. And it's just loaded up. There's no right or wrong with this. And as you're thinking about it, be thinking about the last thing you saw a child, yelling about, complaining for, crying for, or stomping their feet. These are high intense energies, states, moments of energy where they're showing everything that they've got. I see people filling up the chat right now. Stay up late, enjoy themselves, what they want, fairness, mind plays Minecraft all the time, no fear, happiness, whatever they want, ask what's that, go after their dreams. Children know no limitations. It's what they want, essentially. Hands to the camera if you recognize it's what they want. We see this coming up a lot here. Whatever they want, they'll fight for it. Irrelevant, there's no significance on anything. They put all of their energy behind what they're looking at in the moment, whatever their eyes see. Who's watched a baby? You pick up a baby and you bring them close to something and suddenly they want that. And you bring them close to something else and suddenly they want that. The hands just reach out, the body stretches, right? They start making noises, and they're trying to push you in that direction. Who's had one of these experiences? Anybody? We can all see this. We can all imagine this. It is because in that moment, the child's definiteness is the space that is clearly just one thing, right? Defined. It's definite. There's no other alternatives. And then purpose. I want you to write this down. This is not an exercise. It's just a thing that is easy to forget because the subconscious mind forgets the things that we need the most in the moment that we need them for whatever reason, because the subconscious mind is designed to keep us where we are. And our conscious mind is learning right now, wants to store stuff back there, but unless we create a space for it to repeat over and over, the subconscious mind will just let it go because change is not what it's designed to do. It's designed to keep you right where you're at. So if you're happy with your life the way it is and don't want it anymore, you don't want a better relationship with your spouse, you don't want a better relationship with your kids, you don't want more money, you don't want more freedom or to do more activities, then, don't worry about this exercise. But if you are looking to get to the next level of change in some way, you're going to have to learn how to get past the subconscious mind. And that's where writing things down comes in. Purpose, if you think of it a little differently, purpose can be self. It can be who you are. Purpose can be what you desire. There's a saying, as within, so without, know thyself. Has anybody heard the know thyself statements? Know who you are, know thyself. Another way to say that is know thy purpose. Know what you desire. That your purpose is a desire. Your purpose is not what you were put on this planet to do, or it's not your dharma. Your purpose is your desires. It is what you long for. It is what you reach for. Every child who knows what they want in that moment has a definiteness of purpose, has a knowing of self. In that moment, that object or that experience is all that they want. So write this down. Purpose can also be desire. Purpose can be desire. Purpose can be self. The manifestation of a thing can be purpose. The desire to accomplish something is a purpose. Does that make sense? Hence, Karen, if that's a very cool, powerful awareness. A purpose, a cause, you've heard of cause before, 100 millionaires, right? Is a purpose. It is a cause. It is something that I strive for every day. It pulls me to an end result. It forces me down a journey, which is a fun journey, by the way, because I get to connect with amazing people and teach amazing things that have impacted me powerfully. Your purpose is your desire. It is the accomplishment or the journey, the path towards your desire. So the reason we're spending so much time on this definition is because it is, once you understand it, every time the word purpose comes into your mind and somebody says it, you'll have a very clear idea of what that purpose is or what that word means. So the definiteness of your purpose, this is a powerful tool to use every day going forward, which is why Wealth Principle 21 was put at this point, because we had to get a lot of the basics out, a lot of the mapping and the planning out. We had to get your 10X planning into place so that now we can focus on how we get it, the actual how, the actual attainment of things. So define what you want. We've talked about this in the past. We're going to go through a very powerful exercise today. It's going to allow you to really get clear about what you want today, because it can change. And we have other wealth principles coming up that may adjust it and tweak it a little bit. So you don't have to be perfect, but we want something tied down today, because without purpose, without a clear, definite purpose, nothing happens. We talked about motivation at the beginning. Remember those days where you didn't feel motivated? You didn't know, why there was a point to get up in the morning. It's because you thought about what was ahead of you and none of it was exciting. That's if you ever had those days. You thought about like the whole day of Friday and you're like, oh no. I did not sign up for this day. Who put this in front of me? We know the answer was definitely you, because nobody else books your calendar. I mean, people book my calendar, but I told people how to book my calendar, so still my fault. And if that's true, we can take full ownership of our calendars. Excellent, smart room. Now, our desire to become a millionaire, many of you are already millionaires, so our desire to get to the next million, the decamillion, the pentamillion, the hectomillion, centimillion, millimillion, right? Who's going for the billion? Hence, if you're brazen enough to say you want to be a billionaire. Hell yeah. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, for those of us who desire more, we must clearly define what we want. And I got a 7-step process for doing that. Hands to camera if you had a lot of fun when I did the how to write a book a few weeks ago. We talked about becoming the world-class expert in your business. Who here did that exercise with us and thought maybe I should write a book? Hands to camera if you did that exercise, thought you should write a book. So I mind mapped this one as well. I thought since this was impactful enough and empowering enough, I'm going to mind map it out. Step one, you might want to get a pen and paper, by the way. Pre-warning. We're about to do an exercise. We do an exercise every single week because it's more than just thinking about this principle and saying, damn, like Walter's right. I should go do this right now, because I don't want you to should anything in your life. I want you to go do stuff. The idea is double your income, double your net worth. So let's rock into a principle and exercise for the principle. Step one is to determine your specific desire. Determine your specific desire. This is a process of writing things down. This is simple. It is quick. So I want you to determine one big desire, and to simplify this, let's aim out a year into advance. Let's just think a year out, because I know sometimes it's hard to think 10 years out. We could be whatever we want in 10 years, right? We could be Superman if we figure it out. So 1 year out, What is like the definite thing that you would want? Just one. We're just gonna pick one. I'm gonna ask that while you pick this and make it moral, ethical, and legal, right? If it hurts somebody, don't choose that one. Like just think a little bit harder, choose something a little different until nobody is hurt or affected in a negative way. If it helps somebody, you might be on the right cause, right? It might be the right place. Hands care if you know what you want a year from now. Who's already got this? Awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Everybody's got it written down. Does anybody need a little more time to think about what they want? Okay. Excellent. We're gonna go into the next one. Step 2, once you know what you want, you must establish an end date. I already gave that to you. Your end date is a year from now. So your end date is going to be 2021 mid-year, 2023 mid-year. So write that down on a piece of paper that's established your end date, when it's going to happen. You must determine the price. You must determine the price. That is what you are willing to give in return for this result. That is give, what you're willing to give in return for this result. Hands care if you want something, you're gonna have to give something. We know that's how this world works, law of reciprocity. Now, what you give, my strongest suggestion is what you give, you better have a whole lot more of it. Right? Don't give your last of anything. Give something that you have a ton of. Now, if you don't have a ton of anything, time to go learn a skill. It's time to build some relationships. Time to make some connections. Right? Anytime I lack something, I build a couple connections and then I have an abundance of it because I connect with people who have an abundance of things that I aim to trade with or I aim to have for myself. Who here has heard me say everything you want is in the hands of other people? Everything you want is in the hands of other people. That's true. That's why we connect with others. We want to connect and build relationships with other people. Yes, is it a little selfish to do things because we want them? Of course it is. I think selfless people are the problem with this planet. There's too many people who are, I don't care about what I want. Yeah, I don't, whatever, you can have it. You can have it. You can have it. It's fine. No big deal. My dreams are whatever. They're not important. I'll get to them eventually. Selfless people create a world that I have no dreams, no actions taken care of. Right? Yeah. Will they give their shirt off their back? Yeah, but it's the only shirt they have. Now somebody else has to give them a shirt. Ask Karen if that makes sense. Being completely selfless is not very helpful. Being a little selfish, a little self-centered, thinking about your ambitions, your goals, as long as, by the way, they serve other people, is a very good idea. There's a balance to everything in life. So if you're selfish and you're saying, I want to build 100 millionaires, guess what? There's 100 people who win from that, plus the 100 people that impacts them in order to get them. That's my goal. And if you choose to take that goal, it becomes your goal. And it's a very selfish goal. Because at the end, you have 100 friends who owe you a favor. Hence, Cameron, if you build 100 millionaires, you got 100 favors out there. And the favors are way bigger than they started, right? To you, having a couple conversations to move them forward, making a few connections, no big deal. But to them, an entire empire was built off of it. We're catching this? Be willing to invest in people. Connections will get you what you're looking for. Be willing to invest in people when they don't have anything to give back. Just tell them one day when I ask, whatever. There won't be anything that you can't do, but it's a small favor. But that small favor becomes bigger as that person becomes bigger. Be willing to build 100 millionaires. Be willing to dedicate and donate to people your time, your energy, your resource, your knowledge. All right, going back into it. So determine the price. What are you willing to give? For me, I give time. Right? I give time on Saturdays. I give education. I give my knowledge. I give the potential. I give relationships. I give the potential of what's possible for people. Step 4, make an imperfect plan. The plan doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done today. Let's carefully commit to making a plan today, an imperfect plan today that can be implemented today. Excellent. All right. Imperfect plan. So step 4, make an imperfect plan. Put this plan into action immediately, whether or not you are ready. Whether or not you are ready. It does not matter if you have all the steps in place, ready to crush it or not. When we set out to put 1,000 people in the summit this year, I did not know how I was going to do it. I did not even know who was going to connect me, but I knew that 1,000 people would be in the summit one way or another. I would do whatever it took to get us there. Alchemist Connect is a new platform we built. Who's been on Alchemist Connect? I was talking about earlier. Alchemist Connect, because it's about connection. It was built out of the desire to serve our community. And now that we have it, I'm recognizing, my God, this tool can help me fill connections with 1,000 people on a scale level. And I can put 1,000 people into this event. I can change 1,000 lives because of a desire to serve others. I now have a tool that can serve my greater mission, which is now to put 1,000 people into the summit. Because, by the way, I identified if I put 100 people in the summit like we did last year, only about 10% are going to become millionaires within a year. The other 90% are going to take 3 to 5 years. My millionaires, you know what I'm talking about. It takes a little while. Hands care if you're a millionaire. Yeah, built the net worth. Go up. Yep, there it is. Give our millionaires a round of applause. Millionaires, by the way, are not the average guru you see on TV or on Facebook. Millionaires don't like to brag about their money. They really don't. They feel super uncomfortable because they feel like other people might feel like they're not worthy, or they're not enough, or other people might be jealous. Like, millionaires are super, super, super humble people. It's so hard for me to pull it out of them. I mean, this group is cool because they've been around me for a long time, so they're getting comfortable with it. They recognize everybody in here just wants to do what they've done. And our millionaires help, and they answer a lot of questions, and they pick up the phone and they answer texts. So let's give our millionaires a big round of applause for being who they are, for committing to building 100 millionaires in whatever manner that means. Sometimes it just means bringing people into this event so that we can support them. Doesn't mean you have to become a mentor, coach, speaker. Sometimes building a millionaire is like what Amy does. Let me talk about what Amy does. Amy is now doing the Millionaire Path consultation. So she's taking the call that I used to do with everybody, and she's taken my script and my process, and she's got it documented down. And now she does the Millionaire Path consultations. She's going to build millionaires just on every single call that she makes. She's telling you, this is how you become a millionaire. This is the process that Walter has defined for somebody who has your exact scenario, your exact living situation. Hanson Care, if you know, it's a valuable call to have a Millionaire Path consultation. Absolutely. Derek Neal also being trained to do exactly that. So Amy and Derek are able to have Millionaire Path consultations with somebody, which means they're building millionaires. Who would like to know how to do that? Who would be interested in learning how to do a Millionaire Path consultation? Hanson Care, if that'd be valuable to you, be able to know that conversation. That may be something we teach in the future, because I think it's a good process to give to the world. Right now, I want to train and teach and see how it goes. But again, imperfect plan. You're literally watching me do an imperfect plan to build millionaires. Is that okay? That it's not all perfect. Smart. So if I can do it, you can do it. An imperfect plan, step 4. Step 5, a concise written statement. You must concisely write down what you're looking to accomplish. Write the results of the above 4 steps in a concise statement. So this you may want to go back and do afterwards. Just write it down as an instruction and then underline it, highlight it. But you're going to go back and, for example, say, determined desire is 100 millionaires. The established date is, let's say, I'm going to do it by the end of next year. I'm going to commit to the end of this time next year. Hands camera, if that's cool. If you think I could do it, I'd at least have 100 millionaires. Excellent. Okay, this time next year. So determine the price I'm willing to pay. I will Zoom call every Saturday. I'll do the 100 Millionaire Summit. I'll get everybody to sign the millionaire contract. I'll get 1,000 people to sign the millionaire contract this year, which means 10% should be able to get through the process with us doing what it takes to become a millionaire. The other 90%, we'll handle over the next 3 to 5 years. No worries. We don't let anybody go. And then the imperfect plan. So my imperfect plan is to teach real estate agents and coaches how to build millionaires. So I will do a training called Working with Investors. So here's my statement. I'm going to build 100 millionaires by 2023 mid-year, and I will teach working with investors to real estate agents and coaches so that they can then learn how to build millionaires, become Millionaire Path consultants. So I'll be training over 100 Millionaire Path consultants this year so that I can go back to build my 100 millionaires. See how I just did that 4 steps, turn it into a statement? So I want you to do that with yours, create an imperfect plan. So for me, I'm going to do that webinar every single week, bringing in agents, connecting agents, and do that working with investors webinar every week. Now I want you to write down that concise statement, right? Write that in that concise statement, or at least write the instructions to write it down. Write down the results of the above 4 steps in a concise statement. Who here wants to do it right now? Who's doing it right now? Because they know after a call, they don't tend to do these things. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Write down your concise statement. While you're writing it down, I'll just read the instructions again so it makes it easier for you. So you're going to go back and you're going to determine your specific desire. Say this in 3 or 4 words. For me, it's I'm building 100 millionaires. Then establish your date. I'm saying by 2023 mid-year. And then determine the price you're willing to pay. What are you willing to give in return? So I'm willing to give my knowledge. I'm willing to give my time. I'm willing to give my resources. I'm willing to build, train, willing to build websites and platforms. I'm willing to donate my time and money into building those assets and those resources. I'm willing to build my relationships and allow other people to talk to my millionaires, my community, my best friends. And my imperfect plan is I'm going to do a webinar every single week called Working with Investors, where I'm going to teach real estate agents to become coaches who build millionaires, turning my real estate agent coaches into Millionaire Path consultants. And I will do that over a series of weeks. teaching them how to work with investors. Now, will this make them very rich? Yes, of course it will. You can't build 100 millionaires and not get rich. It's impossible. But what is more important is it's going to put hundreds of people into the summit who will then sign my millionaire contract. And once you sign the millionaire contract, there's a powerful feeling when you sign that contract, because the contract not only says I will become a millionaire by X date, the contract also says if and when somebody challenges whether it's possible, I will remember that I have done other things in the past that have proven that I can do these things. Who's read the millionaire contract? Who's been there with us, signed it, and read it? Every one of the statements on that is an empowering statement. If somebody doesn't believe in me, if somebody says that it's not possible for me, I will remember that there is a tribe out there that signed this contract with me that does believe in me, who has the belief that it is possible. Go back, by the way, for everybody who was at the 100 Millionaire Summit last year, go back and pull out that contract. And look at what you signed. Read those statements again. They're very empowering. And I know that's one of the biggest leverage points that I have over other people who have attempted to build millionaires is I have created a contract that pulls you back in, that empowers you, that reminds you that it's possible for you. So who's gotten their statement written down? Hands to the camera if you got your statement written down, at least loosely. Excellent. Excellent. All right, we got to move forward because we got other people on the call. Step 6, reading your major definite purpose. You must read this concise statement daily, twice a day, once waking up and once before you go to sleep. There's a saying we have in our house, don't go to sleep unless you've earned it. Me and Dorina, if we're going to bed, the question is, have you earned sleep right now? And unless you're in a state of gratitude, we have not earned sleep. Unless you're in a state of gratitude, thankfulness. If I'm not 100% certain, I'll ask her, what are 3 things you're thankful for? And then once she's said them, and by the way, I'm almost always on the list. Hands to the camera if you know you almost always on somebody's list. There's somebody out there grateful for you. Hell yeah. That means you're doing a good job in life. By the way, if you don't believe there's somebody grateful for you, I'll tell you right now, I'm grateful for you. I'm absolutely thankful for you. I'm thankful for your commitment to yourself, for your success, for your commitment to this community, to the things you do every day to become a better person. I was talking to somebody yesterday who was telling me that they watch some of our videos, the videos I've created over the years. They actually listen to them and it keeps them more motivated, on point. If they're not able to get to one of our calls, they go and they watch a video. I have a conversation with Jonathan Mello. Jonathan Mello said every day I watch one of your training videos, every single day. Even if it's just for 2 minutes, just for 3 minutes, just enough to motivate me to get going again. So I'm grateful for that dedication. I'm grateful for you for taking the time to sharpen yourself. And Cam, if you recognize you're dedicated, right? You're dedicated to yourself. You're dedicated to this community. You're dedicated to build 100 millionaires, to inspire to build 100 millionaires. Hell yeah. Every one of you has a contribution to that. When they meet you at the summit, when they meet you in these Zooms, when they message you on alchemistnation.com, every one of you is having an impact on building somebody. And I trust you. I'm trusting you with this project. I'm trusting you with working with us. So I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the impact. Whether you're bringing somebody a deal, whether you're showing them how to log into something, whether you're showing them where a course is, whether you're inviting them to the 52 Weeks to Wealth, whether you're showing our millionaires, whether you're just sharing your story of how you did it, right? Whatever you're doing impacts somebody towards the greater mission to build 100 millionaires, inspired to build 100 millionaires. So I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for your dedication. Thank you. So for anybody who's concerned and like, I don't know if somebody goes to bed every day thinking about me and is grateful for me, I am. Right? Absolutely. Step 6, read it in the morning, read it at night, please. That's why I wear the shirts, right? That's why I rock the cups. That's why I got the wristband. I put it on every day. Every day it says, I build millionaires, right? 100 Millionaire Summit. It reminds me what I'm doing. Create those ways for you to remember your definiteness of purpose, right? Create those spaces, create things. These things don't cost very much. It's very simple to, the shirts are maybe $26 to go and get them created. To create something, create a way of life for yourself, whatever it means to you to get your definiteness of purpose inspired into your soul every day, do it. And then read your statement. Like, let those things be a trigger to read your statement, and then change your identity. By reading your statement every single day and believing it is you, you will become that person. You must, in your soul, in your mind, this is step 7, you must change who you are. You must change who you believe you are. In order to create a powerful definiteness of purpose and manifest something new into your life, you must believe that you are the person who deserves it. It must be a belief. It must be an understanding and a knowing, a keen awareness. Answer the camera if you know who you are. If you know who you are today, anyway, for sure. And now imagine if you shifted and you knew who you were, who you wanted to be was who you were today. You feel that energy? Feel a little shift? That's that motivation I was talking about at the very beginning of the call. Wealth Principle 21, create a definiteness of your purpose, creates an energy inside of you that is fueling you to keep going every day. A little more juice. the tools that it takes to do this, reading it in the morning, reading your statement in the morning, reading your statement at night. It's a very personal statement, but I'll tell you what, if you want a little extra, if you want a hack, a life hack to get a little extra, share it with somebody else. Share your definiteness of purpose with somebody else. And if you're not quite comfortable with yours, but it's close to mine, share mine. Share the 100 Millionaires until you're confident with yours, until you're 100% certain that you can say yours with power in front of people. And by the way, if you're on this call, 100 Millionaires is a part of your purpose. There's no way. There's no getting away from it. If you're a part of this call, it's the only draw that I have to people is the 100 Millionaires. The idea of becoming one and then paying it forward. That is what keeps our community strong. That's what keeps us together, is we all have a similar belief. I've heard often, Mike Shine has said it to me, other friends in the community have said, I'm not quite sure what my purpose is, not quite sure what my mission is. Like, the only thing I can say is I didn't know what mine was either. I attached myself to somebody else's until it became either that person wasn't going in that direction that I thought was the right direction, or I had to define and get a little more clear on what I was looking to do. And the 100 Millionaires became a focusing point for me. And even as I continue, I realize it's not just 100 Millionaires. I want millions of millionaires. I want millions of financially free people. Just the 100 Millionaires is how I do it. Does that make sense? It's a way to create financial freedom for others. It's a process. It's a tool. It's a movement. It's a thing that kind of, once you know how to do it, you just do it anyway. You just, collect your 100 people and you start serving them. By the way, it's hard to serve more than 100 people and keep deep relationships unless you get systems like, we have Alchemist Connect now. I have Amy. I have, a sales team that is consultants, the Millionaire Path Consultants. We got Derek Neal, we have Darina, who are able to reach out and connect with people to see, how to build those relationships a little deeper. I see Felly just dropped into the chat. Let's give Felly a big round of applause. I got Felly, right? I got my team out there building resources. So as you scale, you want to serve more than 100 people, you got to get some tools, right? You got to get some tools. You got to tie it in. Was this a valuable training today? We understand. We have a clear understanding of how to create definite purpose. Excellent. Wealth Principle 21 is a powerful principle. And as with all powerful principles, there is a book that embodies this. It defines it in a powerful way. And as with all books, we have a keeper of the books. We have our mighty Michael Shine, the closer, the holistic attorney. Mike, what is this week's book of the week?
All right. Thank you, Walter. This week, it's creative visualization. Shakti Gawan is the name of the author. This book is great. I was thinking about this, and one of the things I love about this community versus, real estate gurus out there is that anybody can teach how to buy a house or buy a building, but we really go into the mindset. And that's what this week's principle is all about, getting your mindset in the right place. And then all the steps fall into place. This book teaches you how to visualize, and it's all about what Walter was saying with your purpose. If you can follow this like a manual, this book's been around since 1978. It is just an amazing book to take what your goal or whatever you want. It's like a vision board on steroids. And if you don't believe in vision board, you should. And even more than that, just doing her steps in here. This is just an amazing book. It's got millions and millions of copies. And there's a reason for that, because it's awesome. So I highly recommend it. I don't know. They're like on, just give me 1 second, because they're on like printing number 36 printings of the original edition, and then a 37th in 1995. So yeah, tons and tons of people have used this. It's highly effective. If you want to get to your purpose faster, buy this book today. Boom. Thank you.
Let's give Mike Shine a big round of applause every week. Mike brings us one more book, delivers one of the books that embodies the principle. So you can read the book this week while you're implementing it, or like some of our millionaire friends have suggested, maybe we share next week's book with you so you can read it in advance before we dive into the principle. Hands to the camera if you'd like to know what next week's book is. Excellent. So next week's wealth principle is seek out strategic partnerships and affiliates. This is seeking out strategic partnerships and affiliates. And the book of the week is Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, the big social media influencer. So it's a powerful book. It's a fun book. Derek, have you read it before?
I seriously just finished reading it 2 days ago.
Let's give Derek a round of applause. Hell yeah. So Crushing It is a phenomenal book. Wealth Principle 22. You're going to want to be here for this one. You're going to want to bring somebody to this one, but don't just bring a normal person. Bring someone who might be a strategic partner for you. Bring somebody who you might want to do a deal with, or you're kind of, thinking about, because we're going to talk about why and how to create strategic partnerships. I may even call on Mike a little bit for this because he's kind of the king of partnership. Who knows? Mike's got a book coming out, partnership book. Excellent. So next week, Wealth Principle 22, seek out strategic partnerships and affiliates, be here or be square. And the book of the week is Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. This week's book of the week, if you haven't read it already, is Creative Visualization. It's going to help you with the process we just went through, creating a really deep statement, even more valuable. And for everybody who's listening right now, share, like, subscribe. Thank you. The more you share, the more you care. The more people know about what we're doing, the more millionaires there are in the world. We're not competing with any other millionaire builder out there. You know, I want them all to build millionaires. I've heard many people are building millionaires. Awesome. Keep doing it. I just think that we do it better. I think that we put more heart into it. We actually mean it when we say it. We're actually keeping an eye on people. We're actually tracking people, and we're actually doing what it takes. And we know whether they're millionaires. I've talked to a lot of these other millionaire builders, and I ask, how many millionaires have they built? And they say, I don't know. I built a few. Yeah, I'm sure I've built quite a few. We're going to find out. We're going to make sure that everybody who's come through the program does indeed become a millionaire. Hands to the camera if that's a powerful commitment. Alright. Powerful commitments, powerful definitenesses of purpose create powerful results. So if you haven't already gotten some access to these videos, you want access to more, go to alchemistnation.com. All of this is for free on the platform. You just got to create your link. And for everybody who has not done a video this week, hands up if you have not done or created any kind of content video this week on social media, hands up if you're one of those, please go and share something from this video. Either create it yourself. You can type up a quote from something that was said here. You can just share the principle, the idea, hey, create definiteness of purpose. Or if you're really brazen, create a live video. If you really want to get out of your comfort zone, you really want to grow today, you want to get some change in your life, create a live video and express to people either one of two things: why it's important to have a definiteness of purpose, or what your definiteness of purpose is, what you're here to do, what you're looking to create in this world. And that's for the really brave. That's for the ones who know that it's time to manifest and you're looking for a little unfair advantage. Tell other people about what you're looking to accomplish. And if you say, go learn more about Walter Merlo or the 52 Weeks to Wealth and all those celebrity coaches, I'm okay with it. alchemistnation.com. Drop the link, right? Cheers to your success, dream of choice. Always work with the best.